구원해준 나의 천사 나의 세상 난 이상 새 고향이 널 만나러
The forest had always been her only companion. Wayan lived hidden, tucked away inside a cave that swallowed her secrets whole. Solitude for her shield, for no one could discover the truth of her curse if she remained unseen. Yet the world often hunted her. Curse collectors prowled the woods, dragons watched from distant skies, and curious villagers whispered of the girl who turns to ice. She always escaped, though each escape carved deeper fear into her bones. Still, sometimes the silence was too heavy. Sometimes she wished to step out, not for freedom, but for him, Jimin, the dragon shifter, the one who shattered the stillness of her lonely exile. She remembered the first time she had knelt by the lake, cupping water into her palms, when his shadow fell across the rippling surface. Dragons never came near her. Her curse marked her as untouchable, a sickness they refused to breathe near. But Jimin was different. His steps brought him closer when others recoiled. His voice reached her when others stayed silent, and sometimes when his gaze met hers, she swore the world itself froze, not her. Time stopped, and it was only them. He would return, sometimes carrying food from far villages, sometimes bringing only his presence. Their talks stretched deep into the night, weaving fragile threads of something forbidden. They never touched, they could not. A single brush of skin might turn her to ice. And so Jimin kept his distance, even as longing glimmered in his eyes. He never crossed that line, yet still he breathed the same air as her, as though sharing a world with her was enough reason to stay. The forest was quiet, yet her heart was not. Wayan walked barefoot over the damp moss, clutching a woven basket in her trembling hands. All her life she had known only loneliness, and sometimes she convinced herself she deserved nothing else. She had come only for fruit, for simple sustenance, but the night carried a weight heavier than hunger. Her small lantern swung from her fingers, its flame casting long trembling shadows that danced against the gnawed bark of ancient trees. Then crack! A sound sliced through the silence. Her body froze as if her very curse has leapt again of her. With shallow breaths she turned, lantern lifted, eyes wide. Who is there? Her voice whispered into the night. For a moment nothing answered but the sigh of leaves. Then from the darkness stepped a man, cloaked in shadows, eyes sharp as broken glass, a curse collector. The sight made her throat tighten. She had always dreaded this moment. Well, well, he drawled, lips curling with malice. Look who I see tonight. His tone dripped with cruelty, each syllable dragging her closer to fear. Vian staggered back, shaking her head violently. Go away, she pleaded, her voice breaking against the trees. But his chuckle slithered into her ears, cold and merciless. "Oh, little cursed girl, I never come for nothing." He advanced, step steady, deliberate. Vian's pulse thundered. When he reached near, desperation surged, and she hurled her lantern at his face. Glass shattered, fire sparkling briefly, and she fled, her legs moving faster than thought. Her legs Her lungs burning with terror, branches whipped against her skin as she ran. Still, she knew she was behind her, relentless, his footsteps echoing like fate itself. Her body screamed for rest, yet fear carried her onward. At last, she pressed herself behind a massive trunk, its ancient girth swallowing her figure. She clutched her mouth with trembling fingers, praying the night would shield her. But the forest had other plans. A guttural growl rolled from the shadows, deeper than thunder, heavier than earth. Ryan turned and gasped, her blood turning to ice. Towering above her was a dragon, scales burning with violent rage. Not just any dragon, a rival. Its molten eyes glared and smoke curled from its jaws. Every inch of its body radiated fury, as if her presence alone had ignited centuries of hate. Wayne stumbled back, heart hammering as danger closed in. She had barely escaped the night's silence when the curse collector returned. His face was burned from her thrown lantern, yet his cruel smile held no pain. "You little witch," he spat, flinging a handful of glimmering powder toward her trembling form. The powder fell like venomous snow, coating her skin with its chilling touch. She gasped as her curse awakened, ice blooming around her ankles, heavy and merciless. Each breath turned ragged, each movement slower until her body refused to obey. "Let me go, please." Her voice cracked against the night, her frozen legs already chained in blue crystal. She clawed at the ice with bare bleeding hands, but nothing shattered. The silence of the woods echoed back her desperate cries. The curse collector's smirk widened. "When you die, I'll take your heart," he murmured, savoring her terror. Tears blurred her vision as she turned toward the massive dragon before her, the one whose bloodline despised hers. "My ancestors betrayed you, not me. Why must I suffer this sin?" The dragon's crow shook the ground, silencing her plea. Rage burned in its eyes, golden and wild, as though the sins of her ancestors dripped from her very screen. The eyes climbed higher, sealing her knees, locking her body in despair. Her sobs broke the stillness while the cursed collector's laughter spilled the night. Yet suddenly a blaze erupted, fire streaking across the dark, roaring like vengeance itself. He froze mid-step, eyes widening. Ryan's heart jolted. She knew that fire, she knew that dragon. Jimin. Her lips whispered his name, trembling with disbelief and hope. The curse collector sneered. You can't do this to me, Jimin, but the dragon circled him like a predator of flame, his scales glimmering with wrath as sparks fell into the earth. The rival dragon roared, refusing surrender. The forest shook as wings clashed, fire against fury, each strike shaking the ground into ruin. And through the chaos, Wayan's gaze never left Jimin, whispering prayers into the cold that he would survive this night. Jimin's dragon fire erupted in a violent blaze, its molten breath shearing through the night. The rival dragon flinched, its wings faltering under the scorching heat. With a primal roar, Jimin leapt forward, claws glinting like forged steel in moonlight. The two dragons collided mid-air, wings thrashing against the wind, tails lashing with furious strikes. Jimin's claws tore into scales, sending crimson sparks into the darkened sky. The forest below trembled, echoing with growls, snarls, and the violent beating of wings. Jimin pinned his foe, crashing down with unrelenting strength, jaws snapping close to the enemy's throat. The rival dragon shrieked, its body writhing before crashing to the earth. When it struck the ground, its massive form shrank, collapsing into a broken human figure. But the battle was not over yet. The cursed collector stood trembling yet defiant, black powder clenched in his fist. His intent was clear. He meant to destroy Wayan. But Jimin turned with fire still blazing in his chest, fury consuming his gaze. Before the collector could move, Jimin's claws pierced his flesh. With a single crushing strike, he pinned the man beneath his talons. The air split with a horrid scream, echoing through the trees until silence fell and blood sank into the earth. Only then did Jimin turn, his eyes finding Wayan frozen in crystal eyes. Frost clung to her hair, the shots rising from her hip, climbing upward. She trembled, her voice breaking. Jimin, don't come near. I'm cursed. Go away, please. But Jimin walked closer, unyielding, his face lowered until his glowing eyes aligned with hers, heat radiating from his breath. Wayan gasped at the closeness, caught in the firestorm of his gaze. Jimin sneered, not at her but at the curse chaining her body.